And welcome back to Dragon Ball Z What If? What if King Vegeta survived and hit on Earth? Part 2. Last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If, well, I guess we could say Dragon Ball Z. We're still in Dragon Ball, but it's Dragon Ball Z. We went through pretty much the first half of Dragon Ball. King Vegeta came to Earth. He ended up finding Goku. And their adventures. He's basically taken Goku under his wing to some degree. Let Goku know that he's an alien. Goku's surprisingly chill about that. Started to increase, help Goku with his training, get him stronger. And we left off with the death of Krillin and going into the King Piccolo arc. Now, real quick, someone did bring up that King Vegeta could recognize Goku because he should theoretically recognize Bardock as well. Goku looks basically a spitting image of Bardock minus a face scar, so it's not impossible that he could recognize who Goku is. And maybe in the back of his mind, he could be constantly saying, I know I recognize him. But I don't personally think he would, just because he didn't pay attention to every single baby, every single birth, and every single warrior. Bardock might have been an exception to that, and we know Broly was an exception to that. But he had a big empire, he had a big planet and a big rule, so yeah, I don't personally see that, but who knows. Either way, we would catch up to Goku raging out over Krillin's death and going after Tambourine. King Piccolo is trying to go after him, but unfortunately I imagine that at some point his scouter is broken, so he can't really because he's just been on the planet for so long. I imagine the scouter probably just busted at some point without any maintenance he could do on it. So he sees Goku and he tries to fly after him, but to no avail, as he can't really find where he is. Ultimately, he finds Goku on the ground, beaten down, although he also sees a near-dead Tambourine as well. Here, Goku's probably strong enough to be able to, more or less, go toe-to-toe with Tambourine. Granted, Goku honestly could beat Tambourine to begin with in the original. It was just that he caught him at a weakened state when Goku was hungry. So, Goku's like, Goku, what's wrong? What's wrong? Talk to me. And they go back. They find Krillin's dead body. He's kept, I guess you could say he's kept on ice. Goku's is left to recover, and they're explaining what's going on. For the time being, the outside scenarios that would happen with King Piccolo, the Pilaf gang, all that, would still go about the same as they do in the original. They find some of the Dragon Balls or flying around the ship. Ultimately, though, Goku does have it was the 4-star ball he had, right? Because King Piccolo met up with Goku to take the Dragon Ball he had with him and beat the crap out of him. This would probably be the 4-star ball. And so King Piccolo shows up, him and Goku square off. Now, Goku being a lot stronger helps out a lot. In the original, he got his ass kicked by King Piccolo. His ass kicked by King Piccolo. He was able to dodge one attack, and then King Piccolo just beat the hell out of him. Here, it would be a lot more evened out. They might even be toe-to-toe. King Piccolo's older state obviously means, though, that he's has less stamina, he has less durability. So that's really where the issue is coming from King Piccolo here. Even with Goku being pushed back, ultimately, as King Piccolo's about to deliver the final blow, he's about to just blast him, either with his laser eyes or just throw a final punch, just gut him. He suddenly just gets a, and what exactly do you think you're doing? It's like, what are you? It's like, I am King Vegeta, and you're the troublemaker. You're the one that's been causing all this trouble. And he just kind of tosses King Vegeta aside. Reminder, King Vegeta's power level right now, I've calculated around 15 grand. But he only utilizes maybe a couple grand of it at most. Because if his power goes too high, he knows he's going to be targeted on the planet by the sensors on Frieza's ship and all that. We know that I keep saying Vegeta. We know that Frieza's ship could calc Frieza's power level in the millions. So it's understandable how it would be able to find higher power levels out in space. And it's the reason Bardock and Guinea, or at least one of them, didn't go with Goku to Earth, because they even said, no, with our power levels, they're going to be able to find us. Granted, we don't know how strong Gine is, but we can assume that because they said he mentioned plural, Gine must be a little on the stronger side. Not like super strong, not Bardock strong, but maybe above 1,000. Who knows? Anyway, King Vegeta tosses him around and like, I see, so you're a Namekian. Ah, I'm aware of the Namekians. If I'm correct in assuming you're the ones who created the Dragon Balls. And Goku's just getting back up. King Vegeta is like, don't worry. Fear not, Goku. I'll take it from here. I'm sounding a little bit like Paragus. King Vegeta sounds a bit like abridged Paragus, but it's a bit more like this. He's got a bit more gruff in his voice. Almost British, but not quite. So King Vegeta is like, no, what should I do with you? And King Piccolo is now, and he's flexing like a little bit of his power. One of the few things that King Vegeta has learned to do is actually control his ki pretty well, so he can keep his power pretty reduced. But even at just even at 1/15 of his power, King Piccolo is getting stomped by King Vegeta. Two kings facing off, and only one is the king. It's Godzilla versus Kong, pretty much, where it's like, yeah, was Kong really going to win the fight? No, he wasn't. Except amp the difference up by a large amount. King Piccolo is just looking like, I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are, but I will kill you. And he starts fighting everything he can on him, and King Vegeta's like, are you done yet? Seriously, I that's really embarrassing for all of us. And he just, poo, 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 just literally just takes him down. Relax, Namekian. I won't kill you. I'm familiar with their culture and the Dragon Balls. I assume, if you're the creator of said Dragon Balls, that if I kill you, the Dragon Balls fade out of existence. And King Piccolo's just like, you. It's like, so I will spare you, at least until the Dragon Balls can be properly utilized. Now, get out of my sight. And King Piccolo is just hightailing with his tail between his legs. It's like, are you okay, Goku? Are you all right, Goku? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. No worries. Now, that being said, now if someone like that is out here, we must be vigilant. So I asked for that favor I asked for you a while back, for the Dragon Balls. I think it's time we utilize them. And Goku's like, oh, that's right. Well, if you insist, but I want to be able to resurrect my friends. Very well, I suppose we can wait. And they go and they bring back Krillin, Hooray, and Chaozu, and anyone who was killed. And now King Piccolo is basically in hiding for a good while. And so, surprisingly, there is no real Piccolo rejuvenating himself and all that. King Piccolo is now hiding in the wastelands or whatever, just like blasted. What was he? He felt familiar, like I'd felt that presence before. And he remembers as he saw the tail on Goku, because we don't know, by the way, King Piccolo and Kami are alien. They've been through space and all that. Technically, they were the same person, but we know for a fact they should be aware of other alien races, like the Yardratians, like the Tarbles. Not the Tarbles. Was it the Tarbles? Yeah, Tarbles. Like the Saiyans. So, would he, in theory, know what a Saiyan is? It's entirely possible. Maybe he remembers like Saiyan. Maybe he even at one point actually finally remembers like Saiyans. It can't be. No, it can't be the Saiyans here. Oh no! And now King Piccolo's like, damn it all. So what would ultimately happen is King Vegeta spends the next many years training with Goku. Eventually, over the years, they do gather the Dragon Balls again, or at least they attempt to, and they find once again that Piccolo is once again trying to attempt to get the Dragon Balls as they had been training. Or as the years had gone by. And when they find him again, Goku A would be a lot stronger here. I'd be willing to bet a year's straight up training with Vegeta, King Vegeta. Ooh, that's a good question. He's probably in his late Dragon Ball power levels, mid 200s right now as it is. Give him a full year of Vegeta training him, he could easily be 1,000 right now, easily. So let's just think on that for a minute. He's at 1,000. Piccolo is finally able to catch the Dragon Balls because they don't have the Dragon Radar. And he wishes for them, and unfortunately, King Vegeta does. He's saying King Vegeta. King Piccolo they catch King Piccolo getting his youth and vitality back, and they can sense his power level increase, but it's kind of irrelevant. It's like, no, goodbye, dragon! And he just destroys the dragon. They're like, no, it's you! And it's like, you stand no chance against me! And then King Vegeta literally just, without the Dragon Balls, there's no reason to keep you alive anymore, Namekian. You have raised my ire for the last time! And just blasts him back. And King Piccolo's like, and just blasts away, but does throw the egg out for Piccolo Jr., which they're not even factoring in. And so, yeah, that doesn't work out great for anyone. And Goku is now upset because, like, what are we going to do? I mean, without the Dragon Balls, I'm over here, I'll get my 4-star back. Or is it beyond that? Our ability to combat Frieza has been greatly diminished. I don't know if there's anything we can do. Well, maybe Korin can help. Korin? Who is this Korin, Goku? Oh, wait, come on, I'll show you. It's like, Parapole Extend! I mean, keep in mind, I don't think Goku's learned to fly yet, plus he's got the Flying Nimbus, so theoretically, you could honestly just use the Flying Nimbus. So they go up, and it's like, Goku, it's you. Oh, great to see you. And who's this very powerful gentleman? It's like, I am King Vegeta. And you are a talking feline of some kind. It's like, you're very astute, sir. I'm Lord Master Korin. I keep it. Yeah, he's the one to help me train on this and this and that. You helped train my young warrior. Interesting. Oh, well, what is it that you can? How can you maybe be of service to us? It's like, I don't understand the questions. Like, the Dragon Balls, they have been destroyed. We were able to combat King Piccolo and take and eliminate his threat, but the Dragon Balls were lost in the endeavor. It's like, oh, I see. Well, there's nothing I can do about the Dragon Balls. No, you want to talk to Kami for that. They go, Kami? Yeah, Kami. You're gonna have to. He lives on the lookout, far above the tower. You'll have to use your power pole to be able to find him. Although you could probably fly up there yourself. It's like, all right, power pole extend, and basically, thing goes out and King Piccolo falls, and he says, I see. And Goku finally gets up there. So does King Piccolo. They go and they see Mr. Popo just like, hi. But we're not doing a bridge Popo, obviously. Kami, it seems we have guests. I see. And, he walks out. It's like, King Piccolo! And Kami can sense their power level. And like, wait. It's like, Goku, I killed King Piccolo. This is not King Piccolo. So you are the one they call Kami, is that correct? Oh, yes, indeed I am. I am Kami. It's like, wait, you're what? Why do you look exactly like Piccolo? And he explains why. They explain they need the Dragon Balls resurrected, and he explains that he is the creator of Dragon Balls. He and King Piccolo are the one and the same. I split from him. Me and him split from the one being ages ago because I chose to become the guardian of this planet, and he decisively did not. So eventually it's like, we need to resurrect the Dragon Ball so we may be able to help get stronger to fight the oncoming threat. And upon hearing this, Kami pauses a bit. You wish to use the Dragon Balls for power, I see. I was like, is there a problem with that? Is there a problem? My Kami voice and my Vegeta voice are almost the same. Is there a problem with that? There is a problem with that. God, they really are. They do say... There is some subtle differences. I should probably not have Vegeta and Kami talking too much if I can help it. I'll go a bit more old for Kami then. There's a problem. The Dragon Balls should never be overused. They should be used with the utmost care. I have no issue with you using them to gain strength, but only if they're for noble purposes. And they should not be used for anything any endeavors too selfish. And he looks at King Piccolo, saying... And so you're aware of who I am. I am indeed. I don't know everything about your history or your culture, though I am aware of some of it, and what I am aware of is not good. And King Piccolo, he feels a little called out. King Piccolo, I did it again. King Vegeta feels a little called. The problem is when you have two different kings, especially when you get to King Kai. Oh God, King Kai. Well, wait, we're not there yet. So, point being, we got two different characters, King. A little difficult. King Vegeta feels a little called out and a little insulted, but at the same time, this guy is the guy who can bring the Dragon Balls back, and he's not wrong. And again, King Vegeta is at least a little bit more considerate than, say, your regular Saiyan. Yes, he was ruthless. Yes, he tried to kill a baby with Broly, but still, he'd at least be a little bit more considerate, I feel. So he stops, takes a breath after being kind of son. Very well, you have my word. I shall raise I have no intention of raising a threat to this planet. If anything, I wish to bring my own planet back and my own people, not on this world, but on my own world. And so you wish to so tell me, do you wish to bring back your planet with the Dragon Balls? Which Vegeta does sound like he had probably considered the idea, but he hasn't really stopped to really think of it on it. And he says, looks down, he stops and thinks, I would like to bring my home back in my world, but not so long as Frieza exists. As long as Frieza exists, there is not going to be any peace. There is not going to be any safety until he is gone. Very well, then. And he resurrects the dragon. Fortunately, the Dragon Balls we know spread out. I'll have to wait, so I'll have to go search for them again. I see. Perhaps, but if you wish for training, you could do it here. What do you mean, Namekian? We could train you in our ways. We have means of getting stronger very quickly, much quicker than you may anticipate. And so, go on. And so, King Vegeta and Goku train in the lookout for the remaining years of between that and the next tournament. And so those years come and go. A wish is made on the Dragon Balls, though. One wish is made. And it's on King Vegeta's part. Now, how strong are they after training? Because obviously they're going to get at least a bit of training in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. In fact, with both of them, they would probably get all the training in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, to be honest. So, yeah, they probably actually use up both their years. Which means... And the reason they did this is because Kami would explain that it's a separate dimension. You can't sense anything out here, which means he can actually finally go all out for a change, King Vegeta, without risking his power being sensed. And so, with those 2 years, how strong would they get? Ooh, that's a good question. I honestly didn't think about it until just now. With Goku being at about 1,000, he's at 15. Goku's got we know Goku just has the overall better potential anyway, and he's the weaker, so we've got the bigger wall to climb and fight against, but also the bigger room for growth. King Vegeta also is an older Saiyan. Now, he's not like gray hair, he's not creaking our joints or anything like that, but he's older Saiyan, which means his threshold to grow probably is a little limited. Plus, he's a much purer-blooded Saiyan than even Vegeta is. But he's still very powerful. I would say King Vegeta is probably, because he'd also be dealing with Goku's growth as well. Let's go with Goku first, because I think that's going to be the easier way to go here. Goku would easily get a minimum, because we saw how far Gohan got. He'd probably get a minimum of at least a 20 times multiplier, which would put him at 20,000. Now, King Vegeta would still be stronger than him after the first attempt, but then after the first attempt, King Vegeta would probably be somewhere more in the line of 60,000, because the growth between Goku and him is probably not going to be that great. The gap is technically larger even now, but Goku's room for growth, all that, and his potential means that when you get into the second time of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and by the way, I always lowball with the Hyperbolic because it's very difficult. Sometimes I'll highball, but very rarely will I do that. I think King Vegeta, ultimately, with Goku being able to push himself a lot harder, and King Vegeta, finally getting a really good, more evened out training partner this time around, I could see Goku capping off at about 500,000, and King Vegeta capping off at about 300,000. Now that might seem like, wait, why the disparity? Well, again, like I said, Goku has the better potential than, we know for a fact he had a lot more potential. Him, Vegeta, and Broly all had a lot of latent potential, but we know he has a lot more potential than King Vegeta. Although I say that with a speculative asterisk behind that, because we know very little about King Vegeta apart from roughly how strong he was, what kind of ruler he was, and a little bit of his personality. So yeah, King Vegeta, is still immensely powerful. Plus, one of the things he also helps teach Goku is how to control his Oozaru, because he knows how to create a false moon. He can do that. Goku takes benefit of that, and after a long amount of time training, him and Goku both get their Oozaru training. Goku can finally control himself in his Oozaru state. Oh, excuse me. That being said, though, it is revealed later on that I think one of the wishes maybe they just do is just restore the moon. Because they need moon for that, and we know the moon is destroyed right now. So maybe one of the wishes later on is to restore the moon. But there is another wish that gets made later on and let's just get out of the way. Piccolo would show up for the tournament. He'd get his ass clapped by Goku. He would just get his ass clapped. Chi-Chi also shows up. Goku agrees to marry her. All's well that ends well. Whee! Gohan! It's like, oh my word. It's like, congratulations, young Goku. I wish you many joy. And he seems you've shown a very strong partner. Why, thank you. Are you his father? No, I suppose I am an adoptive parent of sort. But anyway, please enjoy your time, Goku. You've definitely earned some of it, my boy. I must say, for someone as powerful and as ruthless as I'm told you can be, that's quite a warm heart you got for a boy. My own son may not be alive anymore, for all I know. He's the closest thing I have left to family. I must admit, I feel a little protective of him, probably more so than I ever did for my own kin. We Saiyans are not known for sentimentality or warm, nurturing feelings most of the time, so it's not something I'm accustomed to, but he's different to the rest of us. There's something that makes me put my faith in him. And that's the burden of all masters. We are what is to be surpassed, my friend. I suppose you make a good point there, Roshi. Now, come on, let's go get something to drink. It's on me. Of course. Because I can imagine after a while King Vegeta isn't super friendly with everyone, but he's known and he's friendly with everyone. He's not like everyone's best friend, but he's like, hey, there's respect there, all that. He would be considered a Z fighter at this point, protecting the world. But while we have what's left to talk about is the wish and that little gap between Dragon Ball Z. Because once we get into Dragon Ball Z, that's when shit starts to go wild on this one, and you know exactly why. But first, what was the wish? Now, King Vegeta knows that they need a wish that's going to be able to aid them against Frieza. The problem is, while they keep their power mostly suppressed, if they do a wish, and Vegeta, he's calculating on this, if they do a wish where they unlock their potential, their power is going to boost exponentially. Even if it just spikes and they bring it back down, they're not going to be able to control it initially. So that's not an initially good wish to do. Unless they know, like, Frieza's on their way, or on his way, that's not a good wish to do. But the other issue is this. So the wish he ultimately does make is, give me an immortal body, dragon, so I may combat my foe. And so it's like, your wish is granted. Fare thee well. And so he wishes to be immortal. It's the Zamasu wish. But this is pretty much where we're going to cap off. I'll do a brief little thing of that 5 years in between. But we've never had a Saiyan wish for immortality. The thing about that is this. How does that interact with a Zenkai? Because we know a Saiyan gets a Zenkai when they are pushed to the brink of death. And then they come back. Their body recovers and they get an increase in power and strength. That's how the Zenkai works. Basis explanation of it, but that's how it works. But if you're immortal, you don't die. You can't be. So there's two ways to look at it, and I went with the latter way here. You could look at it as because their body is still technically destroyed, just regenerates. You could technically be near death and get infinite Zenkais. However, I look at it actually more as the latter here, and that is because you're immortal, you can't die, and therefore you're never near death. Even if your body is vaporized, it will just come back. You can't be near death because you can never die. I know that sounds like a bit of a semantics argument because of wording, but I think it's important because when you deal with an individual whose biology works that way. it's just one of those things where we've never had an instance where we've had very few characters ever actually have immortality in the Dragon Ball world. Garlic Jr. is one. And Garlic Jr. is a character, even though he's not canon, who is immortal, does not age, and King Piccolo's age would hold too. Then again, King Vegeta's age would hold too. But we saw he can still be injured, but then he just kind of grows it back, almost Boo style. Boo is not immortal, but Boo is kind of physically immortal, unless you're able to completely erase his existence, and he's magically based. Zamasu was the other one. Now, Zamasu was the one where we get the real canon kind of interpretation of what immortality looks like a little bit. And that is, his body is damaged and it just immediately recovers. And an immortal being can't apparently, at least in the manga, can't even be Hakkai'd. So, because of this, again, it's all the concept of immortality. You can't die. You will live forever, kind of, because of that. And because of that, you're never near death. Even if your body gets blasted out of existence, it'll just kind of reform and reconstitute because you're immortal. So because of this, King Piccolo has unfortunately put a bit of a handicap on himself, and it's a big handicap. Because of the way Zenkais work, he could still get a lot stronger than he is right now, 300 grand, which right now, as of the series, until Frieza shows up, makes him it would make him one of the strongest characters there is. Goku's stronger by a good margin, but even he can't take on Frieza. Well, let's put it this way. If he were Oozaru, he could take on Frieza up until the first phase of it, or first transformation into his final form. This is just due because he'd be at 1% of or 2% of his power, and Goku at 5 million would still be able to easily trump his ass. But yeah, no, King Vegeta has made a strategical advantage. It's both an error and an advantage, because he can't die. But if he's not strong enough to beat someone, he's not going to get any Zenkais either. So, last but not least, King Vegeta and Goku and all that. What's happening in that 5-year gap? Well, Gohan is born. I think King Vegeta is there to help Goku out, because he was a parent, and so he can at least impart some of his wisdom. Chi-Chi, though, being the tiger mom and hot-blooded woman that she is, it's like, look, I appreciate it. It's like, shut up! She just scares the hell out of me. It's like, I'll take care of my son. Your input, Grandpa Vegeta, is welcome. It's like, Grandpa Vegeta, I'll have you know, he just stops and thinks about his age. Like, Grandpa Vegeta's fine. Like, I'm immortal, but oh crap. He didn't give Goku immortality, because Goku, I think, honestly doesn't want immortality. I think he would just say, no, I don't want to be immortal. it's fine. It's like, but if we are killed, then just wish me back with the Dragon Balls. Good point. But the Dragon Balls can only do it one time, remember? It's like, well, then let's just hope it doesn't happen anytime soon. Gohan, though. Last but not least, Gohan, before Raditz shows up. Would he be any stronger thanks to King Piccolo's... I did it again, man. That's what happens when King Piccolo shows up in this part. My mind is on King Piccolo because he has showed up here. But King Vegeta is on it. Okay. Vegeta. Would Vegeta be training Gohan at all? Honestly, no, not right now, because he's too young. At least in the first few years, no. And even then... Chi-Chi is very adamant about him not fighting at all, at least for the time being. Vegeta does try to explain to him that, you understand, your son is a hybrid. Hybrids don't come along very often. Their potential, and when they do, their potential is arguably greater than either of the parents. He would be an astronomically helpful for our cause. I will not have my son become a fighter. He's going to become a... Well, it's like, then Goku just chimes like, why can't he do both, Chi-Chi? It's like, what? It's like, well, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, he has to make a living, and fighting isn't the best way to make a living. But shouldn't he know how to train himself too? I mean, we are both martial artists, so why can't he just do both? Why can't he do both? And Chi-Chi's like, I don't want to become some thug. He's not. He'd be like me and Vegeta and the others, martial artists, warriors. People who fight to protect others. And Chi-Chi, again, why wasn't this argument ever freaking made? I get. Toriyama actually has even said, I don't think he's a fan of Chi-Chi that much. He kind of likes hating on her a bit. Or he did. God rest his soul. Yeah, I mean, again, from a narrative standpoint, this is all you would have to do is make this argument. You can do both! Dear God, Chi-Chi! So it's like, fine, but he has to got to at least wait until he's a little bit older. Now, not having a 5-year-old trainer. Well, how old is old enough then? It's like, yeah. It's like, wait till he hits his double digits. Wait till he hits 10, and then you can start training. 10. All right. Can I at least train the boy in sparring formations, light spars? It's like, fine, light spars, nothing else. It's like, your wife, my God, you chose well, Goku. It's like, so yeah, that would be the most that Gohan's going through. But because that he probably is stronger than he is on average. Like we know his power level is like around, I think, 700 and what was it, 24, I want to say, is what his canon power level is before that rage boost. So I don't know. Maybe he's already at that 1,000 by the time Rad shows up. But either way, that is where we end off part 2. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.